Remember Sackboy? Well, if you don't, he was one of the shining stars on the PlayStation 3 with the series Littlebigplanet. Littlebigplanet was such an amazing game that it even caught the attention of Nintendo of America's president at that time, Reggie Fils-Aimé. I was a bit of a late adopter of the PS3, so by the time I got around to playing Littlebigplanet 1, the second game was already making its rounds. And after I played the first game, well, I was hooked, so of course I played the second game as well. The whole idea behind Littlebigplanet was to allow players to create their own levels and let their creativity and imagination go wild in this game world. I mean, some of the levels that people were able to create were just simply amazing, and it kept me playing for hours. Media Molecule, who were the developers of the series, expanded this idea with a game called Dreams, which is a whole nother video in itself. I actually did a mini-series highlighting some of the games created there, but that's for another time. Littlebigplanet was obviously a hit and went on to have an entry on the PlayStation 4 with Littlebigplanet 3, which I honestly did not hear much about, and a kart racer, which I've always been somewhat curious about. But now on the PS5, Sackboy is back in action with a game of his own. No more user-created levels and such, but this time it's a more traditional platformer. So for a launch title for the PS5, let's see what this game is all about. Let's get into it. So the story for Sackboy's Big Adventure is very simple, and I mean very simple. I mean, it is a platformer, so I really didn't expect much to begin with, but essentially there is this evil villain named Vex, who comes through and take Craft World by storm by enslaving the Sack people for his own gain. Vex wants to take over Craft World, and it's up to Sackboy to put a stop to the madness. Again, a very simple plot for a very simple game. But the most important part, is the game fun? Let's take a look at that gameplay. First off, the presentation for this title is absolutely fantastic. One thing I always admire about the Littlebigplanet series was the aesthetic, and on the PS5 everything really pops and has a realistic look to them. Very similar to Yoshi's Crafted World, this game uses everyday arts and crafts to beautifully construct these levels. The lighting, Sackboy's model, everything is highly detailed, so props to Sumo Digital for making this game look absolutely beautiful. Even on the PlayStation 4 version, the game scales nicely and presents a great looking game. Now, the actual gameplay. As I stated, Sackboy's Big Adventure is a 3D platformer that really reminded me of Mario 3D World when I first saw it, and now that I'm actually playing this, that comparison holds up. You'll spend your time going through these creative levels, collecting things, jumping on and attacking enemies, and very light puzzle solving. The game is also rocking an amazing soundtrack, and some of the levels actually use commercial music like Bruno Mars and such to create platforming challenges, which is great for playing, but terrible if you want to stream this game on YouTube or Twitch. DMCA claims will be waiting for you, so be careful. Now, to be completely honest, I can't say this game did anything that really caught my attention outside the aesthetic itself. It's really just a basic 3D platformer, nothing more. The game tries to switch up the gameplay by having these speedrun and challenge levels, and these were actually my favorite parts of the game, to be completely honest. Sackboy also have these level exclusive accessories like the grapple hook and a hand cannon. I thought these would have been great just to have as a default tool, but they are useful for the levels they're designed around. Now, one big complaint that I have for this game was Sackboy's movement speed. After coming off games like Mario 3D World Deluxe, it's really hard to get into a much slower moving platformer. I know you can roll and such, but a dedicated run button, that would have been nice. The game also has multiplayer, which I can see a lot of family and friends having a great time with. Sackboy also has customizable costumes that you can change into, with my favorite being the Ratchet and Clank skins. I love it, just like how adorable that is. So look, Sackboy on the surface is a beautiful, relaxing platformer, but as a full price game, it just did not wow me. It may be because I play tons of platformers on this channel, but there are better options out there if you need a co-op platformer fix. Not saying that I don't recommend this game. I find this game is fun, and if you have young children who are just getting into video games, this can be a great starting point for the platformer genre. But try to find it at a reduced price if you want to check it out for yourself. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.